Hello learners and welcome to your natural sciences lesson. So today we're going to be doing practice questions and application questions that are based on the refraction of light. So to start with our practice questions, the first question that we are given under the practice question says, a beam of white light is shown through a glass prism. It splits up into 7 colors which are shown on a screen. A learner took a photograph which is shown below and drew a ray diagram to show the prism. The colors are marked 1 to 7 in the diagram. So we have the prism and we have now the 7 different colors, and those colors are marked from number 1 to number 7 on this prism that we have here. Now, the question says, write down the names of the colors from number 1 to number 7. So as we can see, those colors are arranged in terms of the increasing frequency from number 1 all the way to number 7. On this prism, we can label it. We have now the ray coming from the source. This is going to be your incident ray. Now, this ray, it is moving into a different medium. And if it moves into a different medium, we know that it's going to be refracted. That means it is going to bend. As it bends, it also changes its speed. So if it is moving from a less dense medium to a more dense medium, the light is going to slow down. So if it slows down, it's also going to bend. And now moving through that medium, now moving from this prism and back to A, it will still bend, and the speed of that light will also still change because it is moving from one medium to the other medium. So remember, if it is moving from a less dense medium to a more dense medium, it slows down and it also bends. If it is moving from a more dense medium to a less dense medium, the speed of that light will increase. It will speed up and then will also bend. So that changing of speed and that changing of direction is called your refraction. Now, as light is being refracted, it is going to split into the 7 different colors. Remember the Roig beam, starting from the red color all the way to the violet. What we are supposed to do now is to name those 7 different colors from number 1 in that particular order. So the first one there at the top, that is going to be red, followed by orange, and then that is going to be yellow, and then followed by green, and then number 5 will be the blue, 6 will be the indigo, and then the last one is going to be your violet. Remember, you always need to think of this when you're talking about the 7 different colors of spectrum, the visible light. You always need to be thinking about this. They are arranged in terms of increasing frequency. So next question, it is asking us, what does this tell us about the white light? So if that white light splits into 7 different colors, that tells us now that the white light is the combination of all these different colors. So white light, this tells us that white light it is the combination of the 7 colors of visible spectrum. So the white light now, it is the combination of all of these 7. So when you take all of those colors from red all the way to violet, when we mix them up together, what you're going to produce would be the white light. Now, if that white light passes through a prism, or passes through a more dense medium, it is going to slow down. If it slows down, it's going to split into those 7 different colors that we are seeing, or that help us to see everything that is around us. Now, the next question is asking us that what label corresponds with the color of grass? Remember, if you and I know what the color of grass is, we know that grass cannot be blue or red. We know that grass is green. So, from the 7 colors that we're seeing here, which number or what label corresponds with green? Remember, you must always think of the Roig beef, as we have said. So that's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So therefore, number 4, or label number 4, corresponds with green, being the color of grass. So that is going to be number 4. So number 4 corresponds with the color of grass, and that is going to be green. So, next question. When light travels from a less dense medium to a more dense medium, it refracts. Remember the refraction of light, that's the slowing down of light, changing direction, and bending of light. So it refracts and bends something the normal line. So now we can have 2 options. When light is moving from, so if this is your border of the 2 different mediums, and this light, it is moving from a less dense to a more dense, we can talk about air and water. There must be an imaginary line, and that line is going to be our normal. So if your light is of incidence coming from the source, entering the other medium at an angle that is not equal to 90 degrees, we need to know when it bends, it is going to slow down. The speed of that light is going to slow down, and this light is going to bend. If it bends, is it going to bend away from the normal, or will it bend towards the normal? We need to know that when it is moving from a less dense medium to a more dense medium, the light will always bend towards the normal. So the light will bend towards the normal if it is moving from a less dense to a more dense medium. So therefore, the answer to this question is when light travels from a less dense medium to a more dense medium, it refracts and bends towards the normal. Towards the normal line. Then question 5. So when light now travels from a more dense medium to a less dense medium, it refracts and bends something from the normal line. So as we have said, if it is moving from a less dense medium to a more dense medium, it bends towards the normal. But if it is now moving from a more dense medium to a less dense medium, remember, here the speed of this light is going to slow down, but then here from more dense to less dense, it is going to increase. The light will speed up, and if it speeds up, it is going to bend away from the normal. So it is going to be bending away from the normal. Remember, if light is moving from one medium to the next, it can either bend towards the normal or bend away from the normal, depending on the density of those 2 mediums. If as we can see here, if it's less dense to more dense, it bends towards the normal. If it's more dense to less dense, it is going to be bending away from the normal. And if it's moving from less to more dense, the speed of that light is going to be slowed down. If it is moving from a more dense to a less dense, the speed of the light is going to be increased, or the speed of the light is going to speed up a little bit. So now, before moving to the next set of questions, being the application questions, we're just going to quickly go for a short break, and I will see you just after this.